First of all, welcome to the first day of your Selenium training. So maybe you are new to Selenium, or maybe you are working on Selenium project, and I think so in your case you are new to Selenium.
I'm fully new to the Selenium.
Okay. So well, we will be going in a very systematic manner and covering each and every aspect of the Selenium. Now, don't worry about your knowledge regarding Selenium. Selenium, as we will cover each and every topic in a detail. Okay,
Okay.
we will learn Python, learn Selenium, and cover each and every aspect of the Selenium. Now, to learn, can say Selenium, we have to we have got phases. First of all, we learn Python, some of the basic concepts of Python, and you said to me that you know something about basics of the Python. Okay,
Yeah.
so it will be easy for you to learn. Then we will learn Selenium, and in the end, we will learn how to build framework, end-to-end framework, as there are various types of framework available to us by Selenium, and we will be discussing all of them one by one. Now, before we actually jump on to the training, let us take a few questions which are being asked by many people, and I think so somewhat of your questions are there. Okay, now what is Selenium? This is a basic interview question. What is Selenium? Okay, now so if we go to and say official website of Selenium, which is selenium.dev, it says Selenium automates browser. That's it. You know something about Selenium, or you are just new to Selenium?
I'm just new to Selenium.
Okay, so if the interviewer asks you that can Selenium automates desktop application, the answer is no. Selenium automates browsers. Selenium automates browser applications only. You can say browser. Okay,
Okay.
this is a very basic interview question that anyone can ask you. That can we automate UI desktop application with the help of Selenium? The answer is no. Selenium is actually used for automating web-based
Only
application.
browser, right?
Yeah, it is not at all used for automatic desktop application. Okay, let me see that it is being recorded or not. So it is being
I will
recorded.
get this recorded sessions also.
Yeah, yeah. This is actually in my morning class. I have forgot to press the button for recording. So that's why I'm just a little bit concerned. So, okay. As far as browsers are concerned, it supports all browsers. You can say Firefox, Chrome, Edge, Opera, any Safari, any browser. It supports all the browsers. Okay. Again, this is a good interview question that interview can you tricky question. Interview can ask you tricky question that what is the name of the browser which Selenium doesn't support? So the answer is no. It supports all the browsers. Okay.
Okay.
This is a tricky question. I'm being asked by my interview. That's why I'm telling you. As a tester, you must have knowledge of any programming language, okay, in order to learn Selenium. In our case, it is Python. Okay. Now, when we go to our website and
There
can
is how
see,
much impact on the language of Selenium once if someone is know that how to write a script in Selenium with Java or Selenium with Python. So how much difference, or just a language difference and the Selenium?
just a language difference. You know the when you have the concept in your mind, when your
Schema of
concept,
Selenium is same for all, right?
Selenium is same. Just that, you can say applying of the Selenium is different in different languages. Like you can say when I install the Selenium, it is different in different. You can say Python is different, C Sharp is different, Java is different. Installation is different. You can say the uh, language is different, but the concept remains the same. Okay. So in the end, I will say if you have the logic, you can understand any language. So now in the training, we will cover all the modules. These are the modules that we will cover. I will simply say that the Selenium training will give you an overview about all the topics which are required in order to learn Selenium. All required topics will cover in the training. Okay. Now, next question is, will you cover some live projects and frameworks? Well, live project is basically a framework, and we will cover all the framework in the coming training. It will be an end-to-end implementation on a live application. You will know how to generate reports, how to email the reports, in the end, how to add screenshots in the project, how to run test cases. Everything will be discussed. Okay. Now, next question is, I want to use Selenium in my project. Can you help? The answer is yes. We will be helping out you in your project. We have a team here. Even I can help you. Also, we have a forum. When you enroll for the, you can say, course, you can say, suppose so you have enrolled for the course. Here, there is a query resolution forum. You can post your question here. Okay, you can ask a question here, and our team will revert back for your query. Now, coming back to our next question, that how much Python required. Now, you see over here, the first part can say we will cover all the Python concepts which are required to learn Selenium. And say till this exception handling, these all are the modules for Python, and it is more than enough to know Selenium. Okay. I maybe you are from manual background, so don't worry, you will learn Python with Selenium. Many people think that they know Selenium, but actually they doesn't know much about Selenium. You have to learn Python or any other programming language to learn Selenium, or will have to give some time in order to learn Selenium. Okay, so next question is, I want to learn Selenium and clear interviews. Well, to learn Selenium professionally, it requires to learn Selenium. It requires 2 weeks. But if you want to learn professionally and build a project by yourself, it will take 6 to 8 weeks. It takes time, and after full training, you will learn Selenium, but it will take time. Okay, we will give you lots of practice exercises and Selenium that is going to help you a lot for learning Python and Selenium. Now,
There is
next question.
any like online IDE or something for Selenium we can
Yeah.
practice on?
I will come to that. I will come to that as well. Can you tell me what is the full form of IDE?
IDE.
You have to be very careful when you ask the question to the interviewer.
Yeah, integrated development environment something, right?
Yes, Google is there for you.
No, I'm not Googled it because in my
Mm.
first interview, this same question interview asked to me.
So, in my opinion, your resume, your answer, and your words should be in your knowledge only. Because interview can ask you what you have tell them. What is your resume? Okay, so don't worry. I will be there for you for learning Selenium. I will make it easy for you that you will learn it in a happy way. Don't worry about that. So Now next question, how tough is selenium? Okay. It is very easy, but it requires time. You planted a plant today and also you want a fruit same day. It can't be done. Okay. So now the next question everyone says to me that how much time required to learn selenium? As I already told you that it will require some time in order to have a brief knowledge of selenium to clear interviews the same way this picture shows that it will take time, but if you complete the training then only you can achieve it. Okay, now coming back to the installation of Python. Okay, have you installed Python in your system or not?
Yeah, I installed.
Okay, you have go to your Python, you have the latest version, so I would not go there on. Okay, you have installed Python in your system.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, no, so just go to Google and let's write download, can say Python. Okay, this is an official website of Python. Go to this website and here you have the option for download Python for Windows, Linux, Mac, and other. We have to click on Windows if you are using Windows. Okay, so this we have go now. This is the stable release. Always go for the stable release.
Okay.
Okay, don't go for another versions. Go for only stable releases. Otherwise, you will get into the problem. Okay, you have this is the latest version which is there. You can download the old versions as well here. Okay, as per your choice on which operating system you want to work on. Okay, this is uh, completely depends on you. Okay, now you can just click on any version like Windows 64 bit, or I can go for this. I have already installed in my PC, so I'm not going to install it again. Okay, now remember when you are installing uh, this any you can say any version, when you double click on exe, just remember my point very carefully. You will show this type of image, can say this type of image. Just click on this.
Add Python exe to path. Okay.
Okay, you will get the recording video of this session, but just make sure whenever you install Python, just click on this. This is very important. This will do this will add the Python path info in the system environments automatically. You have you have not to do it manually, but in Selenium you can say C sharp, you have to do it manually. Okay, it is going to help you when you have to set the interpreter in the IDE. Just make sure you check this checkbox and then you can click on install now. Don't go for customized installation, go for install now. Okay, install will give you the path as well written over here that where your installation is going to be if you want to keep it in the default one. Otherwise, click on customize installation and give your path there. It is suggested to keep the default path of the installation. It will be better. Otherwise, it is totally up to you. Once the installation is complete, you will get the successful window that setup was successful. And again, eh, setup was successful. And again, if you want to check that it is Python is properly installed into the system, then you can check by opening the command prompt window by typing cmd. Okay, and there just type Python. Okay, here now these three angular brackets. This is a significance that you are in Python console. Now you can do the coding of Python. you can start programming for Python over here. But you don't need to worry. We are not going to write any code over here. This is just to check that Python is installed or not. This is again a very basic question. How can you know that Python is installed in your system or not? And the answer is just by typing in the command prompt Python. It will go me to the Python console. These three angular brackets represents the Python console. Okay, now I will exit it by writing this command. Okay, now what I'm going to tell is just for the sake of information. Sometimes interview can ask you, sometimes cannot, but it is very good that you have the knowledge of this, that how to get to know that this Python is installed in my system or not. Okay, so you can type Python and you can get to know that Python is installed in your system or not. Because people asked me this question previously as well, that I am not able to find out where my Python is lying into my system. Now, again, this is a very good interview question. I think so. It will be asked 1 out of 100, maybe 5 out of 100. I don't know. But I have for the information, you can just type where Python. Now you can know the installation path of your Python. So this was about the installation of Python. Now the programming language is in your system. Now you need to have the place where you have to write the code. Now Python is such a compatible language that if you want, you can work with any IDE. There are two IDEs where you can write code. The famous one is, can say, PyCharm. Now PyCharm has two versions. Can say download PyCharm. Okay. So here, go to your first link and it says PyCharm Professional. Don't go for this. This is an paid version. Okay. Go for PyCharm Community Edition. It is an open source and free version. Okay. PyCharm is very comfortable to work with because I will tell you why. I will just show you after the installation of PyCharm. Just click on this according to your system. Just click on this download button and it will again download. You can say, just remember my point. You have to go for PyCharm Community Edition, not for PyCharm Professional. It is a paid version. Okay. Now you can see if you only want to work with Python language, then the community version is the best version, as you don't have to pay any amount to anyone to get it into your system. After downloading, you will get an executable file, which is very easy to install. Okay. Now I have already installed in my system. When you download it, it's a .exe file. You have to double click on it and it will install in your system. Okay. That now, if I open PyCharm, when you say it is PyCharm Community Edition, just remember you have to download only PyCharm Community Edition. Otherwise, you will get charged for that profession version. Okay. Now, this is how my, you can say, PyCharm look like. Okay. This is my first project. I can say change the, you can say, mm, can say, mm, can you can say the looks of the this by uh, going into the, I think so, window layouts. Okay, it will be there in the settings, but I don't find settings here. Okay, I will let you know where is the settings. You can change the look of the PyCharm, but in my opinion, this is the best, uh, which is you can work on, as it is very light to eyes. Otherwise, the black theme is there. you can work on that as well, which is, you can say, very very much hard for the eyes. So I will go for this only. Okay. Now, suppose if I write, I'm just writing print. This is my first project. Okay. Okay. Now I can do run this project by just anyway click on this, and here the option is run. For, okay. If I run it, now you see that it is being printing here that this is my first project. Okay. Now this is a simple project which I'm doing. Okay. Now suppose uh, you can add a new file from here and add new Python file and name it as you can say um, my um, module second. So this is how to create a new file, or you can say new project. Okay, this is how. Just first of all, I will now you see clearly see over here my module second dot py. So dot py is an extension. Interview can ask you that what is the extension of Python file. So the answer is py, and py stands for Python. Okay, so if you say I will just place a small example: a equal to 10, then b equal to 20. Okay, now I will say print. You you know the basics of, I think so, Python.
Yes,
Okay, okay. Uh, this will what this will print.
it's been 30.
Okay, okay. Now it is printing 30. Okay, now if I want to write like uh, total of A and B, so I just like write this. So now what will it print?
It's concat the string plus addition of the A and
So,
B.
yeah. So what will it print? Total of A and B is
Total of
30.
A and B colon and 30.
Okay, so let's run this. Now it is giving error.
String and int can't concat, right?
Okay, so you have to be very careful when working with Python. Now, if I'm run my program again, now you see total of A and B is 30. You can't concatenate string with integer. Okay. Now you see over here that there are uh, module list. I can select any one of the module and run this. Right now I'm working over here, and I can again click on this. Now it will again give me the same result. Okay, so every time you run a module, it will create a new configuration. So this is PyCharm. This is very helpful and very easy to work with. Now I want to show the naming convention for the Python. Okay. Now I go over here and say naming convention for class in Python. Okay. You can say over here, if I go for, yeah, this is the, so you can see, here's just a small example. This is how you have to, you can say, so these conventions are going to be over here, and if you are not naming the module class according to the conventions, it is going to give you warning that we will see when we will actually start working with the coding. Right now, I'm not going into the coding. It was just a sake of introduction that how Python works and how does look like, what is console. The same way I have another ID, which is known as Eclipse. It is not just generally used to work with Python, but it is famous to work with Java. Eclipse is a free version. You can get it in your system. It comes in number of variants. I will just show you, but all the variants are free. Now in my Google, I will type download Eclipse, and in the this is the official website of Eclipse. Now over here, just click on download packages. Okay? And you can go for any download. Eclipse ID for Java, Java and web developers, IDE, anyone. You can go for any. Okay. Now after clicking on this for Windows, it is 8064. Just click on this. It has all the packages. You can select it by installing the Eclipse. You can get this according to your operating system. But I'm saying very important point that before downloading Eclipse, have to download JDK 8.
Okay.
Okay, this is very much important. Otherwise, you cannot install your Eclipse. It will give you error every time. JDK 8 is the stable version of Java.
Ja-
Okay. Just go for, you can say, download. You just type JDK 8. You see over here that it is being searched. Now you see over here it will go for the JDK 8 is there. According to system, just download your file. Okay. Now it will ask you for your Oracle account. Just simply sign up on for Oracle account. Then it will be downloaded. Okay. And after download of Eclipse, okay. Now I have downloaded the Eclipse as well. So I will just double click on it. This is the Eclipse IDE. Okay. Now when you download Eclipse, you see that I have my Eclipse in my system, but you never find your Python files over here. So for that, uh, you have to go and say for help. Just remember my points, okay? And you can go for install new software, and there here work with. You have to type HTTPS and say over here it is written over here. Okay. Now, whenever you type this, you will get PyDave. Okay, you just is my system. It is already been installed. That's why it's not giving anything. The you have the option here of Python.
Okay.
Okay, just remember there is an option of Python there. Just install, click on Python and click on finish. It will take around 2 to 3 minutes to install in your system. Okay, now after the installation, you can say this is how your Eclipse looks like. Okay, now we are moving some for some advanced topics. Now, right now, till now, if you have any question, you can ask me.
Why we are installing both the IDEs? I can't
Bec
understand.
because some way PyCharm is better, and in some way, you can say uh, this Eclipse is better. I want to show you that the you can use any one of them as per your choice. As per your choice, the coding remains the same. Line of coding. I will show you that whatever the code I am writing in one of the IDE, I will just paste it to the other IDE, then it will work there as well. Okay, some okay, you can see in the coming classes that it is going to be same. No difference in that. I will just copy and paste the code from one IDE and go to the other. Okay,
Okay.
so mm, we have seen the you can say here the print statement. I have just the print statement. Now there is no extra end of the line statements like you don't have to give semicolon or something. Nothing is required. It is simply going to print your output, and same thing we have seen in Eclipse as well. If I just copy this code and here say run as Python run, now you see total of A and B is 30. The result remains the same. Okay. Now, as you see, the same thing have been seen in Eclipse as well, that it was running perfectly fine. Now, moving on to syntactical error. I'm again repeating syntactical error. The error I'm talking about, syntactical error. It is a very common question what Python interview can ask you, that what is a syntactical error. Now, syntactical errors are somewhat like the Python language has a predefined grammar and you do not follow it, then it will give a syntactical error. Python is very much strict about, you can say, the blank spaces. Wherever the blank spaces are not required and you're giving space, then it is going to pop up with an error. Like if I say, okay, now if I want to, can say, run. Now, you see, it will be give an error, unexpected indent, and it will also tell you where the problem is coming from, which line. Okay, now you see that it is very strict about the spaces. Okay, so this is an can say syntactical error, or you can say indentation error. That unnecessary space is given because over here that I'm giving is not required. It is unnecessary and it is not allowed. So that's why you have to be very particular about something in Python. The same way, for suppose I have a print statement which is quite long, I can say over here, suppose if I say uh, what is Python, and if I say suppose if I go for this one. Okay. Now if I go to this and I will say now you see it is giving me error. No, it is in it's a very big line. You see over here that I have to scroll over the can say from left to right. I have to scroll. Now suppose if I go over here or here and move my cursor here and press enter. Now you see it will automatically take an inverted commas by itself. Enter, enter. I'm simply pressing the enter. As this is a uh, very big line. Sorry, very big line. So I can move it like this.
Okay.
Okay. So as it is a very big string, very big statement. So suppose it's like this only. So this way you can say write your big statements. Okay. I You see over here that print statement I want to print is quite long. I have to scroll my workspace before to see whether the quotes has been closed or not. There is ending bracket or not. So I have to scroll it that I don't want. I just want that all the details, all whatever code I have written should be displayed on the workspace itself without the need of scrolling. So this way you can split it. Okay. So again, this is a very good question that can you split your can say big string into line by line, and you see that yes, if I can move the cursor there and press enter, then it will automatically get the codes, which signifies that the print statement will continue to the next time. Okay. But if you remove this, you can say quotation marks, then it will going to give you an error. Like if I want to remove this, then it will give an error. So you have to be very precise in writing Python. Usually you see the codes automatically came, but in your case, in some case, if you are using an older version in which it is not automatically coming, so what you can do, you can just and say, suppose here or here, if you are using the old version, you will just go for the this splash. Okay, okay. Mm, it's in some versions it is working, but right now it is not working. So just go for your double slash single quotes and you will not get any error. Okay. Now what you can do, can say, suppose, suppose if I run my uh, module, now you see it is coming in single line. It is printing in single line. As I can watch this whole string by breaking up, but still it is showing in a single line. Okay. Now, suppose if there are, I think so, yeah, it's okay. Now, now there are two things over here that you should also be careful about: the end of line character, that your statement, whichever you're going, is properly ended. Now, this was simple. Python syntactical error that do come if you are new. You might face these issues, and also I suggest you make these errors and understand how it is being corrected. Okay. Now, whenever you read the definition of Python, you will get to encounter a line that Python is an, you can see over here, that Python is an interpreted language because, say, yeah, see over here that Python is an interpreted, because how the interpreter is going to work in Python is that it will read the code line by line. Okay? It will read the code line by line. Okay. Suppose it got error in line number 3, and then it will say you that if to suppose if I just write a project that a equal to 10, b equal to 20, and I say print sum is, and I will say plus a plus b. Okay. Now, if I run this, now you see it will give me the error where it is coming, because it will read the code line by line. Now you see it is saying that there is problem in line number 14. There are some other languages that will check the whole code in one go, but Python is an interpreted language. Remember, this is a very good interview question, that Python is an interpreted language. It will go line by line and gives you line number from which the error comes. Okay. Now see that you have given the line number. Okay. Now let's see. Now we will discuss variables. Variables are nothing. Can say here. Variables are nothing but a container in which you can store a value. Variable is a container where in which you can store values. So if you're fresher to Python, then anybody can ask you that what is a variable mean. So you have to say that variable is a container which you can store values. Okay. Now suppose I have a variable, can say I have a variable here, which is you can say a. You can name it anything, but there are some rules. I will let you know the rules which you need to follow. I'm just using this alphabet A to define a variable of mine. Okay. Now it's just a simple character, just a simple letter. Once I will put some operator in front of it, it is going to be considered as a declaration of a variable. After this, suppose equal to 5. Any decimal number, any binary number, whatever you want, you can give. It like for suppose I give it as a 5.5. So now this a becomes a variable which is containing the value 5.5. So if I write print a, and I will delete all this. Okay. Now if I say run this, it will print 5.5. So now I'm getting the value which is stored inside the a, which is stored inside the variable a. Now the same way I can use another value like a equal to Python. Now I can use print a. So now when I run this, it will give any error or not.
No, it we can't give any error.
Yeah, it is printing 5.5 and Python. I'm using the same variable a, and this time I will give the value as word. So now in a variable there is a string. Now over here I'm getting the value Python. Python language actually provides you a facility to use the same variable. You may use same variable, and you can see over here that previously I was giving the value to the variable as 5.5, and you can say any decimal value, and in the next step I am changing the value to a string. In some languages this is not supported. You cannot do this type of thing in other languages, but in Python you can. In other languages it will give you a duplicate variable error or something like that. Fine. But in Python, it is not like that. You can use the same variable again and again. Okay. Now you can see over here that this is a number and this is a word. I am just specifying anywhere that what is being stored in the variable, because Python does not require that. Python has a inbuilt functionality by which it automatically decides that what is the value stored in the variable. Okay. Now you see the second print, the data type is going to be automatically decided that it's a string. So this is an inbuilt functionality in Python. Now coming to rules. Let's just talk about the rules. There are 4 rules which are defined by defining a variable. Okay, I will, you know, you can say the name of the variable should not start with any number. You can go for b5 equal to 8, but you can't do 5t equal to 9. Okay, so this is rule number 1. Okay, you can't go for any variable which is starting from number. So this is against the rule of defining a variable. I cannot do this, but the reverse of this is possible, like b5 equal to 8, or I can say d5 equal to 8. I can do this, but I cannot name a variable which is starting from number. Okay, now another rule is name can contain a number. Okay, so here I have contain a number with a, can say, character. So it is allowed. Now comes special symbol. Now when you're declaring the variables, only a single special symbol is allowed, that is underscore. Like I can say t underscore 5. Only underscore is allowed. Nothing special character is allowed rather than this. Okay. Suppose if I want to take, you can say exclamation mark here. Now then it will give an error. So only underscore is allowed. Only. Now when I say, hmm, suppose I will declare that var underscore 5 equal to 8, I will say print type var underscore 5, and I will say print var underscore 5. Now when I run this, you say it is giving class int, the type of class, that you can say the data type. Now suppose if I write as at the rate, then it will give an error, cannot assign to operator. Okay. Now suppose if I here just write, can say, mm, language, and again I run it. Now you see it will automatically give me the data type of the class. Now again coming back to the rules. Now this rule is basically about the keywords. Okay, I know this is very much boring, but this is the basic you can have of the Python. Okay, so you have to remember these rules. This rule is about basically about the keywords. In every language, there are some predefined values which are given the meaning in the language itself. Like for example, I'm using the word print command. Okay, this print command. Okay, this is predefined. Okay, so I get the details that what this print statement is assigned to do the work. It is assigned to do the work to just collect like the stream and print it on the consoles. Okay, this is the function of the print. The same way, I have another keyword like uh, and say if else, or you can say elif or while try. These are the keywords which are predefined. I cannot declare my variable as try equal to 8. It will give an error. Okay, so you cannot name the variables with the keywords which are predefined. And say you cannot use predefined keywords as variable. Interview can trick you that if I'm declared my variable as try equal to 9, so and b equal to 6, then what is the output of the addition of these two variables? So you have to answer that I cannot define predefined variables as my keywords. It will give an error. Okay, so you need to be very strict about these rules because you won't like to get an unnecessary error while working. Now I have told you the syntax, the syntactical error, the variables, that how you can declare them, what are the benefits that you are moving in Python by using the same variable, rules to define the variable, what are keywords you can't use, what symbol you can't use. Now, moving to further, suppose if I say mm, data types and can say verify language here, if I say 10 and I run it and you clearly see that it will give me string class. Now you have int, float, string. Now Python will provide you with another data type which is known as complex one. You know about this data type?
The complex I and J, right? This one.
Uh, can you give me the example?
The 3i plus j something or 3x plus y something.
Yeah, you are right. Suppose I have a variable which is known as c equal to, you can say c equal to 7 plus 5j. Okay, and if I'll type uh, print type equal to c. Okay, now when I run this, now you see it is giving the class complex. Now what we were using, can say d equal to 4 plus 6j. We have done this in our small classes, but right now it is not being used. Print, can say result equal to c plus d, and we say print result. Okay, now if you run this, you will see that 11 plus 11j. It will add 7 plus 4 and 6 plus 5, the j values. And if you say, I want to say print uh, type, say result. Okay, now if I run again, now you see it is again giving me class complex. Resultant data type of variable is again complex. Okay, these are the data types that are supported in the Python language. They are easy to declare. There is no extra colons you have to do to provide, no extra detailing. It's just simple to go. Okay, now I will just copy this whole code from here, PyCharm, and paste it over here. Okay, and just run my Python. Now see, it will give me the same. It the output of in those IDs are same. The whole output that I was getting in the PyCharm will be same as I am getting in the, and say this Eclipse. Okay, so this is the just an introduction to Python. Okay. We will do more by at tomorrow at the same time. So are you coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you find my class today? That it is a little bit of Python supportive or not?
Yeah, it's Python supportive and
Okay.
it's easy to
So
install.
okay, when you watch the video, I just whenever I saying that it's a good interview question, just write it down in somewhere. As when you go for the interview, just read out these points. It will help you in clearing the interviews. Okay, just write down the key points whenever you watch the video. Okay, I think so. I have got your number. Where is my phone? Okay, you have passed the number to Ashish.
Yes.
Okay, so I will WhatsApp you and email as well you the recording link. So just before coming to the next class, just watch before we are going moving further.
Okay, just I have
Okay,
one question. From
yeah.
tomorrow, can we do a class on 8 o'clock? Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's okay with me, but can you do it with 7:50 because I have another class at 9. That's why I'm asking. Maybe it will be adjusted to morning, but I can't say that. It is possible it will start with 7:55 or 7:50.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, then I will share you the link at 7:55 or 7:50 p.m. Okay,
Yeah, it's
just
okay from 7:45 or 8 also.
okay, okay. I will just then we will start with 7:45. Okay, just I'm again saying that please write down the key points which I have said to you in this class. This will help you. I know you have done Python basic, but sometimes what happens that we 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 can say don't know the concepts, basic concepts of Python. Then it will help you. My point is that it will help you in clearing interviews. Okay.